Hello everyone, it's FCA. This is going to be my Makeup Surviving the Holidays guide. This isn't a gift guide. This is makeup to wear and things to wear with your makeup to make them last the holidays. I love makeup. I normally love experimenting with lots of crazy colors, and I love wearing makeup. But if there's one thing I do not want to have happen during Christmas or Hanukkah, Thanksgiving, whatever your holiday is that you're celebrating with your family and friends, when you're going to holiday parties, when you're baking and cooking and buying stuff from the store, New Year's, anything like that, if there's one thing I'm not interested in having to touch up. Sometimes people have things emotionally attached with holidays. If you recently lost a loved one or a beloved pet, if you're introducing a new family member, a new baby, or a newly adopted child, or somebody got married, whatever your emotional attachment is, you don't want your makeup from dabbing your eyes, running down your face. You don't want your foundation coming off. You don't want your blush looking ragged. You want to look as fresh as you can for as long as you can. So here are some items that are going to help you do just that. So here's the makeup that you should own in some form or fashion in order to survive the holidays. So let's start with the face. You are going to want to have a primer. I know that a lot of people skip a primer, but during the holidays, this is the Benefits Professional. This is just the mini version, the little tube. It's $10. And you don't need that much. You need the smallest little finger top amount to rub all over your whole face as a primer, especially if you're a person who doesn't, like myself, who doesn't use it every time I put foundation on, just during special occasions. You can get a mini version. That way you have it doesn't cost that much, and it will still last you a while, because that will help, any kind of a primer will help your makeup stay. You also want to do a powder. I know lots of people who aren't interested in the matte look, but you may want to forgo that for a little while. This isn't inexpensive. This is like $2 at Walmart or something. This is the NYC Smooth Skin. It's a wonderful powder that lasts the whole day. It's not chalky looking. It's very silky and nice. This is in the color translucent, which is what you want, but you could always get, if you got another powder that had a little bit more of a tint of color, that would just add additional coverage that would help last your makeup. And if you get a translucent powder or a very, very, very light skinned powder, not only does translucent work with any skin tone, pale to deep skin tones, you can also take a paper towel, or not a paper towel, a tissue paper with a brush, pat it on your lips, and help your lipstick last an extra long time too. The last things we're going to talk about as far as face is, I highly recommend, you can get the Skindinavia, model in a bottle, or the Urban Decay All Nighter Spray. You don't need the full size. There's also the D-Slick for people who have oil control makeup setting spray. These things, whether you have dry skin or oily skin, there's something for you. If you happen to live in a hotter climate where you don't have to worry about your skin drying out, you're trying to keep from looking like a grease ball, the oil control version is what you need. And again, you don't need like a primer. If you don't use them all the time, you don't need to shell out for the whole size. You can just get the $10 or $15 mini size or sample size, because you're only using it a few days out of the month anyway, or a couple months, with Thanksgiving and all this stuff. But with the running around, getting last minute food, preparing the food, watching whatever you're watching on with movies and TV, getting together with family, you don't want to have to be worrying about, your imperfect skin showing through. You don't want a photo ruined because something was smudged on your face where it shouldn't have been, or patchy pieces of foundation that stayed and didn't stay. So that will help eliminate those worries. Throw on your and I also recommend foundation that's going to be lasting. Estee Lauder Double Wear, Revlon's not photo finish, what is it called? I just forgot. Color Stay. Anything from Color Stay, stuff that is made for longevity. The Revlon Whipped or just the regular liquid foundation are very, very on their own long-lasting foundations. You add a primer, you add a powder, and a bit of a skin spray, and you're looking picture perfect all day and all night. Upon my hands, I have way too many swatches, but down here at the bottom, we have a Maybelline red lip liner, and over here, we have a bit of a muted pink called Bettina from NARS. And here are all sorts of colors from both of them on top of them. And as you can see, the color of the lipstick doesn't change much from one to the other. Not too drastic of changes. A slight tinge maybe for some of the lighter colors, but for the most part, everything stays the same color. So it doesn't matter which one of these you wear. But these are going to be, maybe that's a better swatch of that one. But when your lipstick wears off, you could just wear these by themselves. They will stain your lips, last all day and all night, minimal, if any, touch-ups. And that way you can continue talking and chatting. These are less likely to these will not feather. Lip liners do not feather. They also are very, very unlikely, unless you're actually drawing on your teeth, to get on your teeth. And more importantly, they won't be covering every glass and fork that you have. You can kiss your special someone under the mistletoe without worrying about getting your lip color off of you and all over them. Unless you're into that sort of showing off thing. But it will help your lipstick last longer. I already mentioned the loose powder trick, which I'm sure a lot of people already knew about. But lip liners are just those extra primers that you can use, or you can go and get an actual lip primer. Those exist, but I think that as long as you have at least a lip liner, you go for that. Another thing is I would avoid lip gloss by itself. I know a lot of people like them because they're easy and convenient, but they easily and inconveniently come off everywhere. So I recommend doing something that's going to give a little bit more of a staining power, such as the Rimmel London Show-Offs, also known as the Apocalyptic Collection. They have a little bit of staining power, and as the gloss wears off, there's still some color left over. And to keep that color looking smooth, use a lip liner. Also, if you're not interested in lip liner, you can go for the next best thing. This is a Just Bitten Kissable Bomb Stain. These have a staining power, and thus they're very lasting. This was the old packaging, which worked out just as well. And then another lip color that I high level of recommend is the Revlon Color Stay Overtime. If you're doing New Year's, if you're doing long night Christmas Eve parties, I know that Halloween has passed, but if you're rocking some Halloween parties, you're having a lot of Thanksgivings that you're bouncing between and you don't have time to sit there and make sure your lipstick's good for every single one of them, get this stuff. There's a long range of colors. They're all very, very nice. You're likely to find at least one that you're interested in. They're not that expensive. They're about $8, but they are 16-hour colors. So I have this color, which is called Forever Wine. I think that's what they call it, Ultimate Wine. And there's another color called Forever Scarlet. But if you do this, look at that. I put this on about 10 minutes ago, and look, now you can see my fingers gliding because of the gloss, but no smudging. The color isn't coming off, and the color won't come off. Look, finger just as clean. And that's what you want. You want something like that that is going to give you ultimate stain without drying. So you put this color on first, and then you put the other end, the clear gloss on, and it will have a staining power like no other. And even the gloss itself will last a long time. So I'm gonna, and look at that. A little bit of smudging because but you're not gonna be doing that to your lips. There's gonna be gentle pats, and the longer you wait, if you wait about 20 minutes before you put that gloss on, you are good forever. I usually end up having to take a makeup wipe and get it off. It does have a little extra effort there, but I'd rather have the extra effort there than anywhere else. And then, of course, you want some good eyeliner. You want to have an eyeshadow primer. Any sort of primer will work as long as it's an actual primer and not just an eyeshadow crayon. You could use an eyeliner as long as it's an eyeliner that is the Urban Decay 24/7. This is in Perversion. Color right there. Again, no moving. Nothing going on. Or the Rimmel Scandalize is just as good, just as waterproof, just as good for the waterline and longevity as the Urban Decay 24/7 pencils. Those are my favorites because of the pigmentation and the longevity. And as I said, that's what you want. And I know that not everyone's into waterproof mascaras. This is the waterproof version of the Volume, the Rocket Volume Express from Maybelline. I recommend waterproof as, again, whether it's because you are going to be crying a lot or just strictly for the longevity. Be down a minute! Or just strictly for the longevity, you want a waterproof mascara. So those are my holiday survival guide recommendations, and I will talk to you all later.